company Hela Skåne in the southern Sweden, where I am an agronomist. And I will tell you a little about a project called Hela Skåne Blommar. So I hope you see my slide now. Yeah. The project is a free will project. It's not government funded. We have a sponsor from Länsstyrelsen, but we conduct it. And the idea was to remove farmers' obstacles to grow flowers. So we wanted to make seed available. And in Sweden before, it was quite hard to find flower seeds to grow. You have to make your own mixes because they wasn't available. And then we wanted to create time when it doesn't exist. We wanted to help the farmers to seed the flowers, and we did that with working with contractors. And then we wanted it to make sure that it is possible to seed in a surface is required. And what I mean there is that today the seed machines in Sweden, they are between 4 and 8 meters wide, and these small stripes we saw is about 1 to 2 meters, and that it doesn't collaborate. So that's why we wanted to use these contractors. And these kind of projects have been done before. There was a company called Be Urban that started with this, and they wanted to do the same that we do, but they had a problem to get out to the farmers and get it done. So in our company, we have about 500 farmers that we see and work with, and we do the sammansökan or the CAP, what you call it, the funding from the EU. And in that process, we discussed the AFR, the ecological focus areas, and that's why. And in that case, we can use the flowers. In this case, then we have knowledge and resources to maps and project management that makes this project very good. And then we use partners. I call them partners. It's the farmers. And then we have agricultural companies in the south of Sweden that are subsidizing with money for the seed. But they also helps with marketing campaigns and so on. And then we have these contractors. And it was very successful. The project, we could engage about 250 farmers, and 80% of these farmers had never grown flowers before. And we could, and we were able to grow 600 kilometers of flowering edge zones. It corresponds to the route Malmö to Stockholm, and we also seeded 200 hectares of flowering fallow, and that's almost 400 football pitches. And we can see that the farmers are very proud to be in this project. They are proud because they see that they do something that make difference. They can see the bumblebees in the fields they are sowing with flowers, and they also get a lot of attention from the public that thinks they are doing something good. And we have reached all sizes of farmers. We have farmers with small farmers, maybe with 100 hectares or 50 hectares, and then we have big farmers with 2,000 to 3,000 hectares that are participating in the project. And they have sown something between a few hundred meters for the small farmers up to 10 hectares for the biggest farmers. And we try to let the people know that we are doing this. We have had a marketing campaign as well, and in this marketing campaign we have always been very keen to highlight the farmers, because they are the one who do the work. We only help them to do it. To make this easy and to help the farmers to get a fast decision and get the flowers sown, we have used two seed mixtures, one perennial and one annual. As you can see here, we have Phacelia as the most important cover crop to help the other crops to come up, and it is a very good crop to conquer a weed. This is 2 pictures from the annual flowering mix, and the goals with the mix is to have a good weed control, because we want the farmers to grow this, and they won't do it if the weeds will take over. And that's where the Phacelia is very important. The Phacelia makes the big difference and conquer the weed. And then we want a long flowering period. We want the flower want the mixture to flower as soon as possible after seeding, and then we want it to flower into the middle of August. So we have a mixture where the flowers will come after each other. And then we also want the diversity in flowers, so that we can attract different types of pollinators and insects. And then, of course, we also want this soon to be more than just for pollinators. So by putting, for example, sunflowers in the mix, we will also have a winter feed for small birds. And then we also want to use these flower mixes to promote the Swedish farmer. So we also want to have a seed mix that is attractive for people. We want it to be seen when people driving around in the landscape. And the perennial field edges, they look like this when the years go by. It's in the beginning it's quite it's intense in flowering, and in the later years it's more extensive in flowering. And as I told you, we use contractors, and here you have the 3 contractors that we use this year. And the way we do it is because it is an efficient use of seed. We can seed all the seed that we buy in the project. We can make sure that this will be seeded. If the farmers will seed themselves, there will always be some seed left that because you can't seed everything. And then we have this correct width of the seeding machine according to the AFR scheme. And we also want to free up time for the farmers, so that the farmer, they will do it. If they shall do it themselves, they have a lot of things to do in the spring, and maybe they want to seed it. But as you can see here on the pictures, there are great innovation of the contractors. They want to seed at a small area, and they want to be able to move around a lot of fields in a hurry, as I can say.
1 minute left.
Yes, and we have used these partners. I call them partners because they just don't provide money to the seeds. They also help us with the project in any way. and we have make some marketing, and then we also have these side projects that have been docked to the project, where they're looking at how the impact of the strips on pollinators, for example, and Kornsparv, Embresia calandra is also a project that they're looking at this, and the project has been very successful and well known in Sweden. So in 2021 we will expand the project from Skåne in the south of Sweden to the whole of Sweden. So I hope you will hear more about it in 2021. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have to move on to the next speaker, which is Anneli. She is back, which is great. So there are a couple of questions in the chat. So Mattias, if you have the time, it would be much appreciated if you could answer them in the chat for all to see.
I will try that.
Yes, thank you. Anneli, are you ready?
Yes, I am. So, at first, I am sorry for the problems with the internet connection, but here I am now and will present